Hey guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Mark, Crypto Boy in Oz. It is the 2nd of October and it's a Saturday. And let me tell you, thank God September is over because September has been a shocking month. Like, I've really not enjoyed it because it doesn't matter what price any coin is. No, I mean, we've had a little pump and what have you, but it doesn't really matter whatever coin you've got. If you look at it and you look back at your prices, and if you bought longer than a month ago, then the chances are you're probably down on whatever you bought, just because the prices have gone down so much. So September's been shocking. So looking at my channel, if this is your first time here, congrats, thanks for finding me. 97 subs, 3 away from 100, a milestone. BitBoy was like this big thing, big crypto giveaway, getting to 1 million subs, and yeah, brilliant, good for you. I'm nearly at 100. I've only just started. I ain't a millionaire. I'm just an average Joe that's documenting my crypto journey. So I'm three away from 100 subs. And whoever, I mean, this is just me being on the fly, bit of inspiration, but I've decided I'm doing a giveaway. So whoever is the 100 sub, there's only 3 to go. But if you're watching this, whoever is the 100 sub, drop me a message and I'm gonna send you some crypto. Now it ain't gonna be a lot because I still work for a living. But it's a giveaway. You're gonna get something. I don't know what yet. I don't know what coin it's gonna be. I don't know how much it's gonna be. But drop me a message, and when I decide, I'll get your wallet address, and then I'll send you something through. So just as a bit of appreciation, and you can't be related. So like if it's family, I mean I don't know if any families following me because I've not actually looked subscriber list. But if you're family, you're not getting nothing, not for family. Even though I think a couple of people like family or friends, it's not for friends either. No, you don't need nothing. So yeah, 3 away. So if you've not subscribed to the channel, it's an incentive to subscribe. If you like this video, smash the like button. And this is me, Crypto Boy in Oz. And as I've said, first time joining me, I'm just documenting my journey. And as you can see here, these are the people that I follow: Crypto Banter, BitBoy, Crypto. Although I don't watch as much content as much anymore, I'm so busy. I make sure I watch Crypto Banter because I love the show. And I always try and make sure I watch Kyle Chasse because they get some good guests on and they let you know about a lot of the latest NFT and gaming projects that are coming out. So they're good. And I try, I mean, I always watch the Oaken Razor for the project launches and what have you. But apart from that, I mean, occasionally I'll jump on Altcoin Daily, Cryptos Are Us, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's Crypto Banter that you normally follow. So let's get into it. So October, like going off historically, September's been a shocking month. October has always been. I'm talking about bull run. So like every like 2013, 2017, and this cycle. And October's always been the start of the bull run where everything kind of goes mental. And I'm just going to jump over here to Plan B. Now, if you look at this tweet here, he's put September closing price $43,834 like clockwork, and he's becoming like a bit of a messiah because his predictions are like uncanny. I mean, he had a pinned tweet, but it's gone now. He posted back in June that in August it was going to be 47k, and September going to close at 43k. In August it closed, I think, at $47,200, and then September it's closed. I mean, he's put 43,800, depending on obviously where you are. I mean, I'm in Australia, and I think it closed over here. We're about 43,200, so depending on the time zone. But I mean, to call that, I mean, in June it was like 20, I think it was 28,000, 29,000 when he called 47k for August. But then just to predict that is unreal. So his next target is 63k, and what's happened? Like a lot of people have been really, really bearish like crypto's going down and like shorting the market and what have you. And then all of a sudden, the end of the month has started coming closer, and they've been real. People have been seeing. Obviously, everybody's familiar with Plan B. Is a bit like a prophet, if you will. I mean, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy because that many people follow him. I've said this in a tweet. It's as if because everybody kind of follows him, and crypto and stock market is just pure emotion, and everyone compares his charts and looks at his stock to flow model. It's as if because he's created the narrative, and it's become the narrative, if that makes sense. So he's put this out there. This is what crypto. This is what he says it's going to be, and everyone's looking at it all the time. Everyone refers to it. Everyone comes back to it, and now it's hit 47k for August, and it's hit 43k for September. I think the next targets are just going to automatically hit, just because of how this like industry, stock market, crypto market, how it's all driven by pure emotion and speculation rather than fundamentals. Although fundamentals do come into it sometimes. So the next target, I mean, if you think like now it's 40, what is it, 47? I'm going to jump over here. So Bitcoin's 47.7. So it's gone up 6% in 24 hours, 12% for the day, for the 7-day period. It's down for the month, just under 5%. But it's at 47k. And by the end of the month, I reckon it's going to be 63k. I personally reckon it's probably got. I mean, this is probably sounds a bit mental, but I actually think it's probably going to go up to around 80k. I reckon this month is going to be, for a lot of people, just mental. Like, I think we're going to go parabolic so fast that a lot of people are just going to be overwhelmed by the fact that how quick and how fast it's going up. And don't forget, if Bitcoin goes up to 80k, think what the alts are going to do. Now, where he's put next target 63k, I actually think, just going off his previous 2 months, I think it is going to finish at 63k. I just think it's going to go way past 63k first. I think that's going to be the pullback, because obviously when you look at a chart, it obviously goes up and down. It doesn't just go up in a straight line. I mean, if you look at here, I mean, look how it's gone up, down, up, down. It's kind of, I mean, it went from 20, this is 20th of July, it went from 29,000 up to 42, then it retraced back down to 37, and that's pretty much what it does. So to get to $63,000 for the end of October, it's not just going to go straight there. It's going to like have a cycle where it'll pump and then it'll retrace. But to finish at 63k, I think 80k is probably something not untoward. And then if you look at like November, and then you look at December, I mean, going off August and September, we just check the boxes. Can you imagine, right, Bitcoin at 135k? Now, earlier on this year, the predictions were a lot higher, but I think because the price has been pulled back because of like Black Swan events, it's kind of dulled people's expectations, I think. But if Bitcoin does go to like 80 plus K by the end of this month, and it finishes at 63k, I think these price targets will probably start changing from other people. I mean, I don't think Plan B is going to change his mind on what they are, but he has got two anyhow. He's got the stock to flow model, then he's got the stock to flow. I think it's the plus model, which has higher price targets. But yeah, I think October is going to be one hell of a ride. And just looking at CMC, I mean, you don't need to go back far, do you? Like, you really, really don't need to go back far. Like, if we look at Bitcoin and you look at what it was on the 29th, so a few days ago, 40,000. Then you look on the 21st of September, it was 39,000. So this is on the daily but I mean, in 2 days, it went from 41,300, 48,200. So like $7,000 went up in 2 days. And I don't know, I'm getting the EBGBs. or Sheldon calls it the tingles, that things are gonna go up exponentially. Now I'm just gonna try this. Just gonna try this chart thing, this trend-based fib extension. See if I get it right. It never actually works for me. So I'm gonna put that there. Take it to the top. So we just zoom up here and have a look at what the next fibs are. So you've got the 0.618 that'd send Bitcoin up to 67. So these are like price targets. What a lot of the time, crypto will bounce off these, because when you're in price discovery mode as well, when you've gone above all time highs. Now, obviously, we're going to have. I'm just going to zoom back in here. We're going to have. There's going to be some kind of resistance levels here, like around 55, 57,000. Then you've got this last little wick here. So 63,000, 64,000 is going to form some kind of resistance, but that's in line with the 0.5 on here. But then you've got your 0.618, which is like 67,000, then your 0.786, which is all the way up at 71,000. And these are just targets where it can go to. So I mean, if you look at right, look how big these targets are. But if you come back here to Plan B, and he's got so targets at 63, 98, 135. So we'll come back to this fib extension. In fact, what did I just say then? Going potty. 63, 98, 135. So basically, the first one is like the previous kind of highs. 63 around that price point, and then he's coming in at 98, which was 98. That's around the 1.618. And what was the next one? 135, which is somewhere in the mid range up here. So I mean, obviously these are nothing to go off specifically, but it just kind of targets what charters kind of look at. That's providing that I did it right here from like the low to the high, which I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. So let's jump at the Bitcoin dominance. Now, normally when the dominance is going down, then your cryptos are kind of ready to fly, and the altcoins, tend to start going up. If you look here, I mean, there's not masses of volume, but Bitcoin has kind of broke this this wedge. It was getting to the end of it. It's broke through it, and now it's gone above it. It's 42.6. It was under 42 for quite a bit. So Bitcoin is pumping. And then if we look here, just gonna delete that. Zoom in a bit. Here we are. So if we look at this, it's the same thing. It was getting tight on this wedge, then it's brought through this wedge, it's jumped up, it's kind of cancelled out where we were at roughly 10 days ago, completely wiped that out. And if you look there, it was a big descent down, and then it's basically jumped back up, and it's cancelled out where we dropped on the 20th of September, and we're straight back up to where we were previously. So yeah, I'm expecting to get up to, I reckon 50. I reckon we'll be back up here 52,000 by the end of next week. And then I think it's just onward and upward. And I think it's going to happen pretty fast, to be honest, which is good news for everyone. Because if Bitcoin goes up, everything goes up. But if Bitcoin dominance goes down, the altcoins will go up even more, because if Bitcoin dominance comes down, that means that the money's coming out of Bitcoin and it's going into altcoins, and then it's which altcoins are going to pump. Is it going to be the major alts or the smaller alts? It's been going in cycles. I mean, you've been getting Solana and Solana apps pumping. You've been getting Avalanche and projects on Avalanche pumping. It's just a case of being in as many of the right projects that you believe in. But everything's been like kind of pumping this last day or so. But again, if you look at the monthly chart, there isn't a lot that's actually up. I mean, Solana's up, but for the month, as I was saying earlier, a lot of stuff's down. It's really like, I mean, Avalanche has had a massive pump. Solana's had a massive pump. I mean, if you look at Avalanche, over year to date, it's up 1,700%. I think that's still got a long way to go. Solana's 8,500. I think Avalanche has got a long way to go. I think that can go way higher. And if you just look on here, crypto bubbles, like, look at everything. Everything's green. Like, everything's really been pumping. And look at Axie Infinity. I mean, Jesus, it's up 50% for the day. Like 50%. And that's like insane. I mean, this is what are we on here with the for the day? It's up like 47%. I mean, for the year, look at that, 63,000% for the year. 63,000. I mean, that is absolutely mental. And if you look at the fear and greed, I mean, yesterday this is like always like 24 hours behind. Like if you look here, it's the next update's in 16 hours. But yesterday this was like down. This was down here. It was like between 20 and 30. Now because of today, everything's changed. And tomorrow will be a reflection of what's actually happening right now. So I think that tomorrow this will be back up between 60 and 70. And I don't even want to know where it's going to be by the end of October, because I think it's just going to go absolutely mental. And you're going to get new people that are going to start coming in. Because as soon as Bitcoin gets past its all-time highs, that's when obviously all the press, all the media start talking about crypto, and that's when your everyday Joe will start jumping in and start buying, and that's what kind of pumps the price. And unfortunately, it's the guys that get in last that get hurt, and they're the ones that give everyone else all the gains. But if that's one of you that you end up doing that, don't be too disheartened, because you just hold on to it, because that's what everyone thought in 2017. Like, just think anyone that bought Bitcoin at the top, like $20,000. Well, anyone now would give the right arm to buy Bitcoin at $20,000. So whatever you pay for it now, if you paid $150,000 at the end of this bull run, well, by the time it's the next bull run, people will be snatching your hand off to pay the same. So don't stress too much about it, because everything just zoom out and everything just goes up. There's a couple of tweets I was wanting to look at. This one in particular, which is, have I got the original tweet from
Tech reporting, Mackenzie Sigalos is here with more. So for the first time, Kelly, El Salvador.
Sorry about that. I was seeing if I had the original tweet from El Salvador. Well, El Salvador, they've just started the mining. They're doing, if you don't know, they're basically using completely green renewable energy by harnessing the volcanoes to set up a Bitcoin like farm. And this guy works lightning speeds. Nayib Bukele, who's like the president of El Salvador, the speed that he works at to get things up and running is crazy. So I'm just going to play this little video, which was on CNBC. Michael Saylor retweeted it. But Bitcoin mining upgrades thermal energy into digital energy that can be exported anywhere in the world and stored without power loss. So I'm just going to play this.
El Salvador is officially using power harnessed from a volcano to mine for Bitcoin. President Bukele said a couple hours ago that the country has so far earned $269 worth of Bitcoin. Now, details are sparse, but here's what we do know. Earlier this week, the president posted a video showing these sweeping landscape aerials of an energy factory in the thick of a forest bordering a volcano. We saw a shipping container full of Bitcoin mining rigs, as well as technicians installing and plugging in ASIC miners. We also know the government is working hand in hand with state-owned geothermal electric company Lajeo, which is already running these power plants across the country. So they're not starting from zero when it comes to infrastructure. Kelly?
It seems like they're trying to address the energy usage that with the energy crunch happening globally right now, is one of the major things that critics often talk about when it comes to using Bitcoin, period, right?
Right, it absolutely is. And if this works, it could be a huge plus for the larger debate around Bitcoin's carbon footprint. What we're talking about here is geothermal energy. It's renewable, it's clean, and in some places, it might be making use of a previously untapped resource, which makes the case that Bitcoin can act as an accelerant to renewable energy development.
Yes, if we can get more volcanoes online, seems like that would be a good thing for everybody. Mackenzie, thank you so much. We really...
Yeah, if only every country had an active volcano, that would be awesome. And I think, I mean, the thing is, all this is just a new narrative that started this year that kind of kicked off with Elon Musk, which ultimately sent Bitcoin down from 64K down to 29K. And that's where it all started. And then that pushed this narrative to get green mining all over the world, and kind of China then forced mining out of China, which is a good thing because they were using a lot of carbon-based energy. So now that's left. And I mean, this with El Salvador, I mean, it's good because he already had, obviously, the infrastructure. He already had the power plants in place. So it's just a case of harnessing, like hooking up to that power source. But I mean, he's generated $246 of Bitcoin, but literally they've only just switched it on. And like going forward, this is just going to become more and more common. Like you're going to get all these countries that have got all these solar farms that are going to be having Bitcoin farms everywhere. And I think eventually Bitcoin's going to be like carbon neutral or almost carbon neutral process of mining, because the narrative now has taken it so far that it's willed its way into existence. It's a bit like with Plan B and his forecast for the future, and that becomes the narrative, and then all of a sudden you find that that's what happens. And I think with Bitcoin, that's exactly what's going to happen. I don't think it's ever going to change to proof of stake, like never. I think what secures the network is the fact that it's proof of work, and I think because it's so big and the price of Bitcoin is just going to go up and up and up, I think it'll always be mined exactly the same way it is mined. But obviously everything will become more renewable, and it'll get to the point where it might take a while, might take like 5-10 years, but I think it'll get to a point where it'll be completely carbon neutral. And then where you're getting the odd individual or the odd mine that isn't necessarily using renewable energy, then you're probably going to start getting offset credits where they're investing in things to kind of offset the footprint, what they're generating electricity from. So I thought that was pretty interesting what I've seen. And then this is, where's he gone? Coach K, where have you gone? Where have you gone? Let's give me a sec. I'm just going to have to find this tweet again. How the hell that? Yeah, so I don't know what happened there. This is the tweet that I actually found, that I found really interesting. So there's a lot of people that probably starting out right now, or even like people like myself that started this year and they bought at the top, and they're still like in a deficit. They're still out of pocket. But like Coach K is basically financially free. Like he's got an awful lot of wealth. in a lot of crypto. In real money, he's got a lot of wealth in crypto. He invests in a lot of up and coming projects. But when I look back at this, he posted this yesterday, and he started with only $500. He was a teacher who was making 30,000 US dollars a year. So whatever stack I have is attainable for anyone willing to put in the work. So, and then you've got some guys have been commenting. I just want to jump to the comments. Obviously, well deserved. Congrats. The comments. I'm actually on the wrong post. Because someone were mentioning, my question is, what is today's $30 ETH or $1,000 Bitcoin? What would you put $500 in? That's exactly the point, because he was getting in some of the coins when they were a lot cheaper than what they are now. So there was some people that were, I can't see the comments now, but someone was actually talking about, yeah, but you got in when the prices were really cheap. Like ETH was like $30, like now it's $3,000 and what have you. But you've got to think, like, you've got to look at obviously up and coming trends and up and coming coins. Like anyone that got in Solana like a month ago went to $25, and like people getting in Avalanche now. You got to look at projects that in 4 years' time are going to be way more than they are now. He's not telling you that he's not basically saying he invested $500 and he's got all this wealth now and expecting you to invest in the same projects that he did. He's just letting you know that when he started, that's all he had. He only had $500, and then look where he's got now, just through investing and holding and waiting for appreciation in coins to go up. And so obviously don't look at stuff that he's been investing in, because that's not obviously going to be the same. If you look here now, find early stage projects. I'm showing you in the 5-part series what I invested in. So he invested in Solana in 2017, 2018. It's like $1, and now it's $140. So you've got to get into projects really, really early, and providing you've done the due diligence research, you've checked them out, you know who the founder is, you know what they've done in the past. If you've done your own research and you believe in the project, then something that you invest in for $1 can easily be $140. It's just a case of buying your time. Like he's not gone from $500 to however many millions of dollars he's got now overnight. It's took time, but just choosing the right projects is something that every single one of us can attain to. And if we choose the right projects and we just hold it 4 years, 8 years down the line, like the next cycle, the cycle after that, think about what your project, think about what your coins are going to be worth. Like, I'm just going to jump into this is my super portfolio. So we jump into this one, and I say it's not massive. That's why I wanted to show you, because it's only 35,000 US dollars, so it's not a massive amount. So you look at what I've got. So I've got 300 Polkadot, over 10,000 Cortis, over 6,000 XRP, 2,000 Cardano, 520 odd Thorchain, 40 Avalanche, 42 almost FTX, and then 1% of my portfolio is in Superfarm. You look at all these, and then you're looking at like Polkadot, and it's $31. But kind of pull yourself out and zoom out. Go in a coma for like 4 years, or for 8 years, or the next cycle or the cycle after that, and think about these prices. Like, I mean, I'm expecting Polkadot to be at the end of this bull cycle $250. I'm expecting Corti to get to about $2.50. XRP is a bit of a wild card of mine, because until this SEC court case is closed, it's a bit hard to say. Now, BitBoy Ben BitBoy Crypto, BitBoy, whatever he's called, he kind of thinks XRP case is going to be settled in the next 1 to 2 weeks. If that is the case, and it's October, I think XRP could go absolutely crazy. It could be $10-15. Cardano, I think is easily going to achieve $12 to $14. 4chain, I actually think this one's going to finish the year at about $65. Avalanche, I've got price targets of this. I reckon this is going to be about $350. FTX, I think, is going to be about $400, and Superfarm, $10 to $12. So if you kind of do the math and you accumulate what you think all these are going to be, then the price what it is now, $36,000, then at the end of this cycle, if you cashed out there at the top or somewhere near the top and put it into Bitcoin or put it into USDC, and then you buy it back when the price has gone down, then you're just going to increase what you were holding, and then by the next cycle, that's going to go up even more. But the point is, like, you've got to look at narratives. You've got to look at projects that you believe in, that you think are going to be the next Ethereum, or you're going to think they're going to be the next Solana. I don't think anything will be the next Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's Bitcoin. Store of value, digital gold, that's pretty much all it's going to be. And I don't think anything else will probably come close to it. But yeah, if you look at like Luna, which was $5, now it's like $38, $40. That's going to continue to go up. It's probably going to be $100 by the end of the bull run. So you've just got to you've got to kind of think what is going to be the next big thing, and then in 4 years from now, you've got to get people that are looking at Polkadot, and Polkadot's probably going to be like $400. They're going to be thinking, well, exactly the same thing as what's Coach were talking about. He didn't buy it at $400 though. Like, I didn't buy Polkadot at $400. I bought it at $20. It's all relative, and in 4 years' time from now, there's probably going to be coins which have got the potential of doing exactly the same thing. It's just a case of finding them. But personally, I'd kind of say that you want to be getting into crypto sooner rather than later, because once mainstream adoption comes, then the cycles are going to be less volatile, which means they're not going to go down as much, but they're not going to pump as much either. You're probably going to get more of like a level, even playing field where they go up and down, but nowhere near as much as what they are doing. And I think that's not coming on the next cycle, but I reckon the cycle after that, 8 years from now, when all your institutions, hedge funds, pension funds, countries are all investing in crypto, and possibly the stock market is on the blockchain as well. So I think that was pretty much it. Yeah, we'll finish. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. And remember, the 100th sub is going to get some free crypto. So whoever you are, when you obviously check your number 100, and then I will send you some crypto through your wallet. So if you've enjoyed the video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Remember, invest well, invest well, invest well. It's the most important strategy. And hold, and only sell at the right time if you're going to sell. So pick a price that you're happy with to sell at, target price, and start cashing out, going into stable coins or Bitcoin, something that obviously is less volatile. And remember, there's a crypto boy in every single one of you. Until next time, even you women out there.